Hey everybody, this week's video is a special treat. I found some old recording I made when I was first trying to figure out a better setup for recording these videos. This is of the torchbearer for Myth that I sculpted. This is the last figure I did for freelance before going to work full-time with MegaCon. And I really like the figure, and the funny thing is actually it was done for MegaCon too. So it's a really cool figure. We're gonna move in the time lapse, and then I've got several things I'm gonna go over. There's some new big things happening, and excited to tell you about my next idea for next sculpting series and other stuff that's gonna be going on for this channel.
All right, first things first, tell you a little bit about this character. This is the special edition miniature. It's the torchbearer that was done for the very first Myth Kickstarter. It's a special miniature. It was given to all the backers just as a thank you, kind of representing how the backers made everything possible. You know, turned a little side business company into a full-time job for 6 people. So that is pretty awesome. Now, I don't have a full recording of this entire sculpt, but it's a pretty good showing of how I go about bulking up a figure. You see it already skinned. He already has a little bit of material laid on, but you're just going to see how I end up working it up a little further into a more defined form. But that is really not the biggest part about this video. This is just the fun thing you get to watch while I talk about other stuff. So I'll move on to that, because there's something, the first thing on the list, really important, and I want as many people to respond in the comments as possible. And that is the next video series I plan on doing. So I've got at least one more tutorial I want to put up before I start this series, but a lot of people have been asking about 15mm miniatures, and because they're small and they are a lot quicker to do, I thought it would be a great chance to make a couple videos out of it, go over the whole process from start to finish on how to make a 15mm miniature. So I have some ideas on what it would be that I would sculpt in 15mm, but I thought I would give the community, you guys, a chance to help me pick what to sculpt. So the only parameter I'll set for this is that I want it to be a humanoid, because that's going to be typically what most people are going to work with. It's going to be easier for most people because they'll be familiar with that. So, but yeah, please take some time, think about it, some ideas. It could be, human barbarian or alien. Feel free to be a little descriptive. Just to, put your idea forward a little further. But yeah, go ahead and post it down in the comments, and I'll read them all as always, and pick the one I like the best, and that will become the series coming up here shortly. The next thing I wanted to talk about was Patreon. I know I've mentioned it off and on in a couple of other videos in the past. Well, the time has come. I've worked very hard on putting the page together, and I'm ready to put it up, and I just keep putting it off because I'm just so nervous that whenever it comes to stuff like that. So I guess first I should tell everybody what it is. So Patreon is essentially a way for people to support creatives in creating content. So for instance, in this case, it's a way for me to get some extra support in creating these videos. So I've been doing these videos for almost a year now. Maybe it is exactly a year even. Nonstop and pretty consistently. And I want to keep doing that, and I will keep doing that whether or not I get support, financial additional support. But depending on how Patreon goes, it will enable me to do more videos, do better videos, just do different things, and make it a higher priority. So, yeah, I'm going to put a link here in the video and down in the description, and encourage everybody to go check it out. Please feel no obligation to become a patron on there, but I mean, I would appreciate anyone and everyone that does. But if you can't or don't want to support, I'd appreciate you sharing it around with people that may be willing or able to do that. So, yeah. And as you all go and check out the Patreon, please, if you notice any typos or something doesn't make sense, again, feel free to comment below or contact me and let me know. I'd really appreciate it. Like I said, I try to do my best to make everything clear and make sense. But yeah, also if you guys have any ideas for other rewards, things like that, or more importantly, goals. I have some thoughts on there, and there's already some down in the sidebar, and those are just things that I plan on doing if I hit certain monthly levels of patronage. But yeah, I don't expect anything to be kind of set in stone. I'm sure when everybody puts their heads together, there will be a lot of great ideas coming together, and I hope to be able to implement them. The last thing I'd like to talk about is the Armature scale reference cards that I've been talking about doing forever. Well, the good news is I've finally done it. I made 3 different sets. It's always a male and a female, human. I made one at 35 millimeter, which is the scale that I typically sculpt at. One at 28 millimeter, which is kind of the historical size of miniatures. Not necessarily heroic. This would be more true 28 millimeters, so closer to probably what you would see from hassle-free miniatures, Kev White or Trey Manor's Redbox Games, and the last one is 15 millimeter, which is great and very timely for this upcoming video series I plan on doing. So I'm going to put a link down in the description and hopefully here on the video as I'm talking. And you guys can go ahead and download that. It's also going to be a I'm having a total brain fart. Oh, it's also going to be a kind of a free gift to anybody that pledges on Patreon. But I've been talking to you guys. You guys have been here the whole time watching these videos, helping inspire me to keep going, and so I'm throwing it out there right now in this video. Anybody that finds this, they can have it. But I do plan on updating it down the road with more scales, and I would love to do more different types of characters, dwarves, elves, monsters, aliens, just all sorts of things, and go through and show people, kind of give them a guideline of how they could build their armatures to create those kinds of characters. So I lied. That is not the last thing I need to talk about. The last thing I need to talk about is this really cool Kickstarter that just went up. I am a big fan of comics, as you know. I've mentioned that many times, and especially unique comics, indie creators. I just absolutely love stuff that is all ages but is good. Looks good art-wise, great story, and that brings me to what I'm talking about. Jake Parker, who I'm a big fan of and has been a big inspiration to me to get drawing more and do more things like even this channel, and he is doing a Kickstarter for his latest graphic novel called SkyHeart, and he's over halfway there as of this recording, and I have no doubt he'll reach it, but it is a pretty lofty goal because he's essentially, it's not just to get the book printed, it's basically going to allow him to work on it full time for the year it'll take to make it happen, and I've read almost all of his comics, and they're just so interesting and creative and fun, and I really want to see this book get made. The art is awesome, and it's a really cool concept, and yeah, so I don't want this thing just funded. I want it really well funded because I hope he gets to continue making these volumes for SkyHeart. So go on over to his Kickstarter, which again I'll link right here, and check it out. And if you're into that sort of thing, definitely back it. All right, that's all I have to say for now. Thanks for watching and listening to me talk about these various things coming up for the channel, and things going on. As always, please comment down in the bottom, whether it's about the things I talked about now or other sculpting art related questions, and I'm happy to read them and do my best to answer them. So thanks again, guys, and keep sculpting.